I worked hard every day, day and night, finally saved enough money, bought my boyfriend a luxury item as a gift, unexpectedly. Instead, I overheard his heartfelt words. Women all only value money. Just buy a bag and you're done with them. Why bother with real feelings, just play around. I was sad and angry. I decided to break up. Returned all the things he gave me. But he accused me loudly. What I sent you are real. You took some fakes to pretend to return them to me. What do you mean? Don't lose your temper. Make up with me, just make up. I won't care anymore. I took out my cell phone, ready to call the police. The boyfriend obviously panicked. I brought the watch with me. Come to find boyfriend Anthony. Today is Anthony's birthday. I deliberately told him I had to work late tonight. I refused his invitation to the party, but I took leave in advance. I came to the bar quietly, intending to give him a big surprise. I couldn't wait to look for Anthony in the bar. It didn't take long. I saw him appear. I quietly walked behind him. I planned to cover his eyes with my hands to surprise him, but then I heard him talking to his friend Liam. Liam, you are so attractive. You're so attractive. You're in such a good position. It's easy to find a woman. Why do you secretly like someone else? You're still here drinking to relieve your boredom. Don't take women too seriously. Don't be too serious. Just play around, Liam said, a little surprised. Yo, Anthony. Anthony smiles disdainfully. Anthony, you say that women are like clothes. Who wears the same one all the time? There's no such thing as sincerity. Affection and love is just playing with women. Women are like that. She's very shallow. She's a gold digger. Just spend a little money on some luxury goods. You can easily fix her. I was standing behind Anthony. My legs felt like lead. I couldn't take a step. I couldn't believe my ears. Anthony obviously loved me. He cared about my health. Even if I got a mosquito bite, he would be especially nervous. Even when he was drunk, he still kept calling my name like a child. He holds me tightly and refuses to let go. As long as I am a little bit unhappy, he would try his best to make me happy until I smile. The man who loves me so much. How could he say something like that? My mind went blank. My chest hurt so much that I could hardly breathe. I couldn't hold the gift box in my hand. It fell to the ground with a pop. Anthony and Liam heard the sound. Both turned their heads. Liam sees me. A nervous look on his face. Anthony, on the other hand, looks calm. Didn't you say you were working late tonight? Why did you suddenly come here? You didn't even say hello before you came. And you sneak around back there and listen. It's really inappropriate, Anthony said. He shook his head in disgust. I couldn't help but cry out. I asked, Anthony, don't you want to explain to me? Liam saw this, stood up and said, You two talk it over. I'll go now. Anthony hurriedly dragged Liam. Don't rush off. We haven't had enough to drink. I lost my temper. I yelled at Anthony. Anthony, did you mean what you just said? Have you been playing games with me? Have you never been serious about our relationship? Anthony looked at me coldly, said, A woman's occasional pampering and temper tantrums can indeed attract a man's attention, can indeed attract a man's concern. But don't go too far. It's meaningless if you go too far. Almost on the line. Don't go too far. It's no fun if you go too far, I said sadly. In your opinion, I'm a woman who pretends to be innocent and greedy for money at the same time, Anthony said coldly. It's meaningless to talk about it. You are still pretending with me. You won't let me have my way. You just think I invested less money. You think you don't make enough money. My parents are traditional. Since I was a kid, they taught me to stay clean. Don't do immoral things. I've been a clean freak since I was a kid, so I think things between men and women should be done only after marriage. Anthony has always shown understanding and support for my idea, and I feel grateful for that. I didn't realize that's how he saw me originally. I cried tears all over my face. Anthony, we're over. I never want to see you again. Anthony put down his glass. He sighed helplessly. He softened his tone. Don't cry. Don't be so sad. Your acting is really getting better and better. He suddenly changed the topic. I'll send you to Hollywood tomorrow. I have a relative who is a director. I'll ask him to give you a role. With your acting skills, you'll definitely become a movie queen in the future. Listening to him, I was furious. I couldn't help but say, HMPH, people like you can never get someone's true heart. I don't want Anthony to see me sad again. So immediately turned around and ran out. I staggered to the curb, hurriedly stopping a cab. I couldn't stop the cab. It was hard to feel in my heart, squatting on the side of the road and cried. At this time, a pair of feet stopped in front of me. Someone said to me, Don't be sad. I'll give you a ride home. I looked up and realized it was Liam. I wiped the tears off my face. I wiped the tears from my face and said calmly, "No, I'm fine. What did you want to see me about?" Liam smiled at me. Liam smiled at me and said in a gentle tone, "This is what you dropped on the floor. I came out to give you something." He continued, "You won't let me. Then I won't deliver it, but I've called you a special car. It's not a good time to take a taxi. Get in the car and go home to get some rest." He squatted down again, gently patted my shoulder, said, "Everything will pass. Those unworthy people, just forget about it. Don't let them hurt you." I stared at Liam's warm smile. The cold feeling in my heart eased a little. It didn't take long. I returned home in a special car. As soon as I entered the door, I got under the covers. I cried the whole night. After one night, I calmed down completely and let go of my feelings for Anthony. After dawn, I got up and packed up everything related to him in the house. After washing up, I went straight to school, even though I'm already a senior in college, but still have some classes to attend, in order to buy Anthony a luxury birthday gift. I skipped classes for a long time. During that time, I worked from morning till night every day, trying my best to save up money, just to get enough money to buy him a gift. When I arrived at the classroom, I directly put the box with the gifts on his desk. "Anthony, these are the gifts you gave me before. Now that we broke up, I'll give them back to you when we were together. I hardly ever spent his money. He always likes to give me gifts. But every time I would work hard to earn money and then give him one back. A while ago, he gave me another expensive bag. I didn't want to accept it, but he insisted I take it for this bag. I haven't had a good meal for a long time. I've been desperately saving money, planning to give him a gift of comparable value." Anthony didn't even look inside the box, just frowned and said, "Emily, this isn't the ones I sent you, is it? It's not necessary. It's just a little thing. I don't care." The girl in the front row turned to look at the box, gives me a disdainful glance, said, "These things look fake at first glance, not even high fashion, especially this bag. It's simply a cottage. How could Anthony buy this kind of fake stuff?" Hearing the female classmate say that, I froze at once. Everything Anthony gave me, I treasured it like a treasure. I've never been able to use them. It's also well kept. How could they all turn out to be fakes in that case? The only thing that makes sense is, Anthony gave me something that was a fake. I asked him directly, "Anthony, you gave me these. I've never used them. Is it possible that what you gave me from the beginning was fake?" The female student couldn't help but laugh out loud. Emily, you are so funny. Anthony's family is so rich. How could he give you such a fake product that can be seen at a glance?" The other students in the classroom followed suit. "Emily, don't be so tough. Just admit it. Anthony doesn't care about these things. Why do you have to be so pretentious? And you're trying to save face with these fakes." "Yeah, that's right. It's really embarrassing for us girls. To put it bluntly, you want to take advantage and pretend to be noble at the same time." I heard these words. I was so angry that my head was going to explode, but Anthony was looking at me with a smug look on his face. I couldn't help but yell, "You guys don't talk nonsense. These things are what Anthony gave me. The ones he gave me are the fakes. It wasn't me who exchanged them for fakes." A classmate immediately responded loudly to me, "Don't be sophomoric. It's useless even if you shout loudly. We all know in our hearts what kind of person you are." The other students also started pointing at me, whispering. I was so angry that my whole body was shaking. I really wanted to rush over and teach them a lesson. Just as I was trying to calm myself down, thinking about what to do, Anthony slowly stood up. He said to the class, Okay, everyone stop guessing. Emily is just joking with me. It's just a little fun between the two of us. You guys don't understand," he said and came over. He put his arm around my shoulder. I was furious, shook off his hand with all my might, turned around and ran out of the classroom in a huff. With the mood I was in, I couldn't stay there any longer. Anthony shouted after me, "Don't run so fast, wait for me." I huffed, "What are you doing here?" Anthony replied with a smile, "You are my girlfriend. I'm here to keep you company and cozy you up. Isn't that normal? We've already finished." Anthony said with a cold smile, "Is it up to you to break up? Don't you always think you are very noble? Shouldn't you return the gifts I gave you when you broke up? Now you can't even return it. Then how to break up?" Seeing him show that kind of unintentional smile, I understood at once. It turns out that Anthony had already set a trap waiting for me to take the bait. I couldn't help but say, "Chemph, you know it yourself. The things I returned to you are all the original things you gave me in the first place. It's really unethical of you to do so. You obviously don't lack money. I've been telling you not to buy me gifts, but you insisted. Every time I gave you a gift of equal value, but it got more and more expensive. In order to return the gift, I made myself penniless. I didn't realize that all you gave me were fakes. Anthony grinned, said, "You're just trying to get away with it. Emily, you've gone a little too far. You know what? It's no fun anymore." I can't help but laugh. I picked up the box in my arms. I hit him hard on the head. "You're still playing with me. I told you to play hard to get. People like you really need to be punched." Anthony screamed in pain. "Emily, you're serious." I walked over and kicked him again. "You're a cheeky bastard. I'm warning you, stay away from me when you see me again, or I won't let you go," I said. I raised my foot to kick him, but this time Anthony dodged it. I was not in the mood to say more to him, turned around and walked away. Anthony shouted after me, "Emily, are you sure you want to go? I'm going to count to 10. If you don't stop, we're done. If you don't stop, we're done. 10, 9, 8, 7 at this moment. I feel remorseful in my heart. I blame myself for accepting Anthony's confession. That's right. He is handsome. He is smart. He was also enthusiastic about me. But why didn't I realize that he's so glamorous on the outside? Inside, he's selfish and arrogant. He's not the man I thought he was. I have no feelings for Anthony now. I'm going to take a long vacation. No more internships and part-time jobs. I'm going to rest, nourish my spirit, start loving life again. I was lying on my dorm bed trying to get a good night's sleep. My roommate came knocking on my bed. "Emily, look at this. Look at what people are saying about you on the school's Twitter wall. Look at what people are saying about you. You're on every school's group chat. Everyone's calling you a gold digger and a hypocrite." I just sat up in bed. What did you say?" My roommate handed me her cell phone to look at. "Everyone is talking about you and Anthony. A lot of people think what you did was wrong. There are also people saying that they want you to give the real thing back to Anthony." I hurriedly picked up her cell phone, and I found out that this was the case. The school's public number microblogging all the major QQ groups and WeChat groups are spreading like crazy about the fake goods of Anthony and me. Even worse, Anthony also added oil and vinegar in it, making everyone even more convinced that I'm a dishonest person. I hadn't even finished reading all the comments. The counselor called me. "Emily, how could this happen to you? It's a crucial time for you to join the party and evaluate your merits. You can't be confused. Go make up with Anthony." The teacher said, "I know you girls love bags and luxury goods, but since you're breaking up with him, it's better to return these things to him." I couldn't explain myself for a while. I could only keep apologizing to the teacher. After hanging up with the teacher, I immediately started to contact Anthony. I called him and he didn't answer. He didn't answer my phone calls and he didn't reply to my tweets. I had no choice. The next morning, I had to go to the classroom to find Anthony. Luckily, he came to class today. I went straight to him and asked him, "Anthony, what exactly do you want to do? Let me remind you. I'm going to tell you the truth." Anthony crossed his legs. He put on a smug look. "The truth is clear to everyone. What else needs to be clarified? However, if you are willing to bow down to me, I can still consider making up. Then everything will be fine. Otherwise, I won't be able to control public opinion." I was so angry that I almost bit my teeth. Good. You don't want to, do you? You want to hurt me, don't you? Okay. I took out my cell phone and dialed 911. I dialed 911, said, "Hello, comrade police. I want to call the police. Someone has intentionally slandered me, damaging my reputation. Anthony is obviously panicking. Are you out of your mind? Stop it. Get off the phone." I ignored him. I said directly into the cell phone, "I'm a student at NYU. Please come to NYU as soon as possible." It didn't take long. The police arrived at our school, at my insistence. The police took Anthony and me to the police station for investigation. Anthony stared at me with a puff of anger the whole way. The anger in his eyes seemed as if he could roast a duck. When we arrived at the police station, he vehemently denied that he had ever slandered and vilified me. He said, "Emily and I are boyfriend and girlfriend. I just casually chatted with a friend. There was a small conflict between us. She had to return my bag. In fact, I don't care about that bag at all." I had to explain. "Comrade policeman, that's not true. The thing he gave me was a fake. I'm just returning the fake he gave me. But it's all over the school. They say I swapped the real one for a fake and gave it back to him. Actually, what he gave me in the first place was fake. He did it to defame me, to damage my reputation." Anthony said calmly, "Comrade policeman, you can investigate. I've never said in public that he intentionally replaced the real goods with fake ones to return them to me." These are all speculations of my classmates. I'll be honest with you. I'm from a good family. Even if I broke up with my girlfriend, I wouldn't be so ungracious as to ask for all the gifts I gave her back. She really thinks too much. The policeman cleared his throat and said, "It's just a small emotional conflict between you guys. It's not a big deal. It's better to mediate. You two have a good talk." I sighed, said to the police, "I only have one request. He must tell everyone the truth. Can't continue to damage my reputation." The policeman nodded and said, "Your request is quite reasonable. Classmate Anthony, you make a clarification post on the school's social media. Won't this matter be resolved?" Anthony replied with a stern face, "Everything I bought for her is genuine. Every piece has a small shopping ticket from the regular store. I just don't see the need to specifically bring it out. A guy like me, do I still need to buy fake goods for my girlfriend? I just don't think it's necessary to make it so complicated. I can have the house sitter bring over all the tickets. You guys can follow the time on the tickets. Go to the store to check. Luxury stores like this have security cameras. It's not hard to find out," Anthony said confidently. "She bought these fake goods. I'm sure we can find the source," seeing that he is so sure. Although I am a little hesitant, but still said firmly, "Comrade policeman, I want to find out. I want to insist on defending my rights." The police officer said with some difficulty, "This kind of small matter is best not to make a big deal. Besides, Anthony's classmates really didn't say in public that you returned his fake bag. If both of you are not willing to mediate, to find out the truth of the matter. It may take a long time," I said firmly. "It's okay. I'm willing to wait as long as it takes. I must find out the truth, prove my innocence." The police didn't say any more. They just took our statements and took a form for me to fill out. After doing this, the police let us go home first, walking out of the police station. Anthony said smugly in front of me, "Don't resist. For you now, the best option is to get back together with me. I don't even want to pay attention to him." Continue to walk forward, planning to take the bus back to school. At that moment, Anthony's car pulled up next to the bus stop. He whistled at me, said, "Get in the car. I'll have the driver take you back to school first." I was on fire. I spat directly at him. The spit was right on his eyes. Immediately made him lose his temper. Anthony never liked spit. That's why we haven't kissed until now. Suddenly, he was spat on in the face. It felt like it was killing him. He hurriedly shouted at the driver, "John, get a napkin. I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up." How could I let him go so easily? He spat at him immediately. Anthony was so scared that he rolled up the window. He wiped his face in the car with his hands. Outside the car, I saw his funny face. I laughed my ass off. I was laughing. The bus arrived. I got on the bus in a hurry. The car drove all the way back to school, but I just entered the dormitory building. I realized that the girls were pointing at me, although I was angry, but still held back to the dormitory. But as soon as I entered the dormitory, I found that even my roommates who usually live together didn't pay much attention to me. I really couldn't help it. Asked them loudly, "We have lived together for almost 3 years. Don't you believe in my character? Do you really believe those unreliable words on the internet? It's not that we don't trust you." The roommate sighed helplessly. "Emily, we're not trying to accuse you, but why did you make such a big deal out of it? The whole school is talking about you now. You've ruined your reputation." "That's right. I hear you're breaking up with Anthony over a joke. Is that so bad? It's such a big deal now. Everyone thinks we're all about money." That's when I realized how much the world favors men. It turns out that the ones who hurt girls the most are the girls themselves. I immediately ran out of school. I went to a second-hand luxury store. I sold the birthday gift I originally planned to give Anthony. I immediately used the money to rent a studio apartment near the school. That night, I moved out of the dormitory with my suitcase. Since the school couldn't give me peace of mind, why should I still stay there to trouble myself? My decision to move out of school gave those who talked nonsense a new excuse. They said I was shirking my responsibilities, and that I was a total gold digger. I've even had some impulsive women who blindly defend men text and call me directly to bother me. Think about it. Anthony is indeed quite handsome. It made quite a few schoolgirls enamored with him. These simple little girls naturally sympathized with their idol in particular, and they were full of dissatisfaction towards me. But I don't care about that at all. It doesn't matter. Let things develop slowly. The truth may arrive late, but it will be revealed eventually. The cycle of cause and effect. Whether it's Anthony or those rumor mongers, they'll get what they deserve in the end, in the next few days, apart from cooperating with the police investigation. I spent most of the time in my apartment having fun. I've been hit hard both physically and mentally lately, feeling especially tired. I need to recuperate. It's not like I have to go to school. It just gave me a chance to rest, but I didn't expect it. This day, I received a notice of a group meeting with my thesis advisor. In order to successfully graduate, I had to attend the group meeting arranged by the tutor. Throughout the meeting, classmates were whispering, pointing fingers at me, but in front of my tutor, I could only endure my discomfort. I just hoped that the meeting would end soon. After the group meeting, the mentor just left the classroom. Anthony immediately ran to me. He said something unpleasant. "Your little mind. Who doesn't know that in school? You don't have a good body. You don't have good looks either. I'm the best man you'll ever meet. I was just joking, and you're using it as a pretext to make fun of me. You even broke up with me. After you broke up with me, I didn't come to coax you. You're making a fool out of yourself again. Emily, don't be so childish." I quickly took out the colored ink bottle from my bag. I unscrewed the cap. I poured it directly on Anthony's head. Anthony became colorful all of a sudden. He shouted angrily, "Emily, what are you doing?" I replied calmly, "I see you're not quite sober. I wanted to wash you to clear your head. That man is unbearable. He's not only bad in character, he's also self-righteous to the extreme. Your existence in this world is simply a stain on this world," I said, spitting angrily at him. A few of the female students present who liked Anthony rushed over to help him wipe his clothes. They accused me as they wiped. "Emily, this is too much for you. How can you treat Anthony like that? Don't talk to someone who only values money and has no morals. What can you say to her? Brother Anthony is nice." Otherwise, I coldly took out my cell phone. "I've already started recording. You guys keep talking. Keep cursing." These people looked at my cell phone. They all stopped talking. It turns out they're only good with their mouths, but when it comes to real things, they back down. They are just taking pleasure in other people's pain. They think it's great to stand on the moral high ground and criticize others at will. They think they're doing all these righteous things with honor, but they don't even want to investigate the truth, only willing to believe what they want to believe. Reasoning with these people, I felt like my IQ was being pulled down, so I turned around and prepared to leave the classroom, but Anthony was yelling behind me again. "Emily, without me, you'll never find a man in your life. You're going to die alone." The girls around him followed. "That's right. Women like her don't deserve you. Brother Anthony, don't be angry with her. We all like you, especially. If you're willing to be my boyfriend, I'll be happy as hell." Anthony completely ignored the woman next to him. Instead, he yelled at me. "Emily, what are you walking away from? I'm talking to you. Do you think you're not wanted? That's why you're avoiding me. I don't want to talk nonsense with these two people." I covered my ears and ran out the door. Not yet out the door. I ran headlong into a sturdy chest. I heard a firm voice ringing in my ears. "Who says Emily is not wanted? I've actually been crushing on her for a long time." I was startled by the words, rushing to look up to see who was talking. Turns out the person I bumped into was Anthony's best buddy, Liam. The girls next to Anthony started whispering. "Really, isn't that the schoolboy from the next college? How could he have a crush on Emily, Anthony's brother? Isn't this guy your good brother?" Anthony is furious. "Liam, do you know what you are saying? Do you know what you're saying?" Liam's face is gloomy. Staring hard at Anthony, he said, "I've been in love with Emily for a long time. I've always had a crush on her. If she wasn't your girlfriend, I would have snatched her away. Anthony, I've been nice to you. I thought you were really good to Emily. I didn't expect you to hurt her again and again. And now you're bad-mouthing her. You're going too far. You. Anthony pushed away the people in front of him. He rushed up at a fast pace. He swung his fist ready to hit Liam, but before he could touch him, I kicked him in the vitals. Anthony jumped in pain. I took the opportunity to pull Liam. Without looking back, I left. When we got to the door of the school, I said to Liam, "Thank you for speaking up for me today, but you don't have to. I don't care about those people's gossip. I'll leave now. Bye." I meant what I said. I've been wanting to say these things for a long time. I interrupted Liam right away. I immediately interrupted Liam. "I don't want to start a new relationship right now. Anthony hurt me too much, and I haven't resolved things with him yet. You know what I mean." Liam smiles. He said in a gentle tone, I understand. I don't want you to feel pressured, just want to be your friend. And hopefully help you." I smiled softly, responded, "Great, but right now I just want to go home first for safety's sake. Let's split up." "Okay." Liam understood me. He nodded his head back and forth. Then he stood still. He watched me leave. After parting with Liam, I hurried back to the apartment. Not long after arriving home, I heard someone knocking hard on the door. I felt nervous. I wondered if Liam had followed me here, although since he's Anthony's brother. I know him, but our friendship is not deep. He said he had a crush on me. That surprised me. After all, Liam's family is richer than Anthony's, and he's better looking than Anthony, and not just any handsome. It's the kind of handsome that has a personality. A man with such a personality looks like a fun-loving person. How could he be willing to crush on a woman? I was a little uneasy, quietly looking out through the cat's eye of the apartment door. The person frantically knocking at the door turned out to be Anthony. How did he follow me here? How did he get here? I immediately took out my cell phone and started to call the police. Anthony outside the door probably heard the noise in the house. He shouted, "Emily, are you at the door? Open the door. I know it's wrong. I've come to apologize to you. You're my girlfriend. You're my woman. You can't be influenced by Liam. You can only love me in this life. I can't live without you. I can't live without you." I heard him shout, a hard feeling in my stomach. Seeing me completely ignoring him, Anthony's voice got louder and louder. He was like a wounded animal, cried out directly outside the door. "I do realize that I was wrong. You must forgive me. I always mistrusted you. Always thought that all women only value money. It's all because my mom left a psychological shadow on me since I was young. When I was very young, she left me and my dad for money." I listened to his crying voice. My heart was in turmoil, just hoping that the police would come soon. Anthony's voice got lower and lower, with pleading. "I really know I'm wrong. I'll do anything for you as long as you ask. I'll do it. Emily, give me another chance." Anthony cried out, "I know what I did was wrong. I admit I was wrong. I'm willing to make it right. I'll do anything for you, just please don't leave me. I can't accept you being with someone else. I really can't stand it." His cries got louder and louder. It finally drew the neighbors in. The neighbors also came knocking on my door and said, "Just give him a chance. He keeps crying outside. We can't stand it anymore. He's a big man on his knees. You can at least come out and meet him." I went to the door and said to the neighbor, "Big brother, if you find it troublesome, you can go straight to the property. Let them handle it. I've already called the police. The police should be here soon." A neighbor kindly advised Anthony, "Young man, you heard him. The police have been called. Don't stay on your knees. They'll take you away when they get here." Anthony ignored my reaction. He continued to kneel outside the door, crying and begging for my forgiveness. Seeing him like that through the cat's eye, I was a bit surprised. However, I'm not stupid enough to make up with him. I just think he has changed so much in one day. It's quite emotional. The police soon came and kicked Anthony out. He left my doorstep though, but still hanging around outside my neighborhood. He kept blocking the entrance of the neighborhood. It made me afraid to go out, because I really don't want to talk to him. That's when I thought of Liam. I sent him a message. I asked him to help persuade Anthony away. It wasn't long after that. I was standing on the balcony. I saw that Liam had arrived outside my neighborhood. He walked up to Anthony. Then the two of them started hitting each other. I thought it might be a mistake to call Liam. There was no way out. I had to call the police. The police quickly took them away. While they were going to the police station, I was finally able to relax and run outside the neighborhood for a workout. When I came back from my workout, I met Anthony again. He had a bruise on his face. He looked very tired. He said to me, "Emily, are you sure you don't want to forgive me?" "Yes, I do. I won't forgive you. You know that. Don't ever come back to me again." Liam's voice came from behind me. "Anthony, you heard me. Emily made it very clear. I remind you not to bother her anymore." Anthony has tears in his eyes. Okay, I won't come back, but Emily, you'll always be my woman that won't change." The next day, the school's QQ and WeChat groups were buzzing. Anthony openly badmouthed me in the group. I broke up with him, but he accused me of switching his real bag. Gave him a fake bag. He also provided evidence, said he found the store that sold the fake bag and showed the store's shipping record. The records do show. The person who bought these fake bags sent the goods to my hometown. In this way, Anthony totally confirmed that those fake bags were indeed bought by me, and the real bags he bought must have been hidden by me. This matter spread all over the school at once, with evidence. Anthony's supporters got even more agitated. They even accused me publicly on the internet, saying that people like me should be criticized by everyone. I was fretting about this. Anthony came to me again. He looked at me fondly and said, "Emily, as long as you are willing to get back together with me, I'll go and explain everything to everyone." I immediately spat at him. I said angrily. Yuck, you this kind of person, I will never promise you. Anthony's eyes are red. Tears are still hanging in the corners of his eyes. Are you really going to be with Liam? Okay, then don't blame me for being unkind. Don't blame me for making a big deal out of it. I'll sue you now. I'll sue you for selling me a fake bag, I said coldly. Heh, do you still want to fight back? I've already got a lawyer ready to sue you. Anthony, it's time for you to take responsibility for your behavior. Anthony suddenly fell to his knees, holding his head in his hands, crying bitterly. I've already gotten my comeuppance. From the moment Liam confessed to you, I've been living in hell. I'm really suffering. I can't stand watching my favorite person with another man. I don't want to hitch a ride with this weirdo. I still have to see Liam today. Liam told me. The private investigator has found evidence for me, and the lawyer he hired for me. He's also meeting with me today to discuss it. But Anthony has been following me closely. Luckily, Liam showed up in time. Anthony took another beating. Liam is physically strong. Anthony is no match for him at all. After getting rid of Anthony, Liam and I went straight to the private detective. The detective told us. It turns out that those couriers that were sent to my hometown were all arranged by Liam to be collected on his behalf. The private detective put the complete chain of evidence in front of me. With this evidence, I confirmed the fact that Anthony framed me. The police quickly arrested Anthony. Lawyer also immediately helped me file a lawsuit against him. Liam found this lawyer for me, the best lawyer in the city, so there was no doubt about the outcome of the lawsuit. The people who helped Anthony badmouth me. I also sued them in court. After the netizens learned the truth, they started to criticize Anthony online. Overnight, Anthony became the object of scorn. It's a pity that the crime he committed is not enough to go to jail. The lawyer helped me to get moral compensation. The court also ruled that he must publicly apologize to me online. Anthony's family is rich. To him, the moral compensation fee is nothing at all, although he was criticized by everyone on the internet. But he can still choose to study abroad to avoid all these troubles. I don't care about that, because my reputation has been restored, and life has become nice and peaceful. As for those messy things between Anthony and I in the past, it's long gone. But Anthony has never been able to let go. He didn't follow his family's arrangement to study abroad. Instead, he hides not far away every day to see me secretly. He said, now as long as he can look at me from afar, he feels very satisfied. A few years later, Liam and I fell in love and got married. Anthony was completely disillusioned. He began to commit suicide every day. It wasn't long before the news came that Anthony had died. I don't feel anything about it. I'm living a happy life now. How could I care about the death of a stranger?